Hey, what's up everybody? This is Culture Drop. I'm Galen. Today's topic is around entering into potentially dicey conversations with other people in terms of feedback or some static or conflict, and just like a simple little kind of communication hack, which is around asking for permission. Okay, so I think this is a really valuable thing as a human being to just have in your repertoire as a tool, a mindset, something to be aware of, is going into a conversation with somebody else that is potentially sticky or conflict or feedback or a challenging conversation. It's really nice to ask for permission from that person to engage in that conversation, or ask their permission to share your thoughts, which looks exactly like this, to say like, I've got some thoughts or I have some perspective about that, or some feedback that I'd like to share. Are you open to hearing that? Are you open to me sharing some thoughts and hearing where I'm coming from in this? When someone says yes to that, it automatically puts them in a more receptive space to hear what you have to say. And that's the objective of this, right? Is that you want to put somebody else into a space of not feeling defensive, not feeling attacked, but open to hearing what you have to share. It's a really wise way to sort of enter into those conversations, to where if you just come in with your opinion or opposition or feedback for somebody, you can immediately just put them on the defensive, right? And raise up all their armor. And so, especially if it's someone who is generally challenging to have these kinds of conversations with, it's really nice to say, I have some thoughts or I have some feedback, are you open to hearing that? Just a really nice little tool, but I think for any situation, it's sort of like, it lowers the emotional sort of like, intensity of a situation too. If you can be like, I have some thoughts to share, are you open to hearing those? It's a lot better than like, well, you this or you that, or here's what I think. And it applies to a lot of different situations, right? Like maybe somebody is making a decision, on a team that you think is a bad direction to go, right? You can be like, ask a lot of questions, understand where they're coming from and their objectives, but then also be like, I have some thoughts, I have some observations or, assumptions that I'm making here. Are you open to me sharing some of my thoughts and perspective? Again, it's just like asking that question, having that person say yes is great. And also be prepared for people to say no. Depending on the context of the situation and the dynamic, someone might be like, no, I don't really want to hear your thoughts. And then just don't share them, right? It's like forcing our opinion, forcing our opposition on somebody also can be it can create more conflict and static. And depending on the situation, it might not be needed, or they might not really care what you have to say. And having them tell you that and then not sharing is also fine too, right? To be able to just be like, okay, cool, keep it to myself. And that of course is context dependent on the conversation, but just a really nice communication hack that's good for working relationships, personal relationships, romantic relationships, anything, which is like, I have this thing to talk about. Are you open to hearing what I have to say? Really nice to enter conversations that way. Foley artists, those are the people in movies that make sounds. I got a couple horses. A Western movie. Maybe this is an audition tape. Pew, 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 pew. I can make the Predator sound. You get caught in a trap and let's film some stuff. Thanks for watching and tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have our weekly email list, the Culture Drop. You can subscribe to that and get these emails right in your inbox. Follow our social media channels. Put out a lot of free content around being more awesome and building great teams.